So, honey, where are we off to?
It's Friday afternoon, and this week we're heading off to Knob Noster State Park here in Missouri.
So when we get there, we'll see ya.
Hello, I'm Wade.
And I'm Angel. And we are BHBP Weekend Getaways.
We'd like to introduce you to our YouTube channel. This is Pole House Black Pots Weekend Getaways. We spent the last 24 years of marriage living in the pole house and raising 2 children. We have spent many weekends out camping, exploring, and Dutch oven cooking in the great outdoors.
We evolved from tent camping to a pull-behind camper. Actually, there was 2. We had a pop-up camper and a big old 1972, very heavy pull-behind camper. Back to tent camping, which meant packing up my Volkswagen VW Bug, which was quite a chore. All I can say about tent camping is I'm too old for that. With both of our children entering adulthood and starting a life on their own, they don't camp with us anymore. So we were inspired to build our Chuckwagon camper.
Now, you may be wondering why we call our house the pole house. Well, that's because our house is built on telephone poles. Yeah, that's right. Telephone poles support all 3 stories. So, the PH portion of our YouTube channel is the house that is supported by poles.
Now, the BP portion of our channel stands for Black Pots, meaning mostly cast iron cookware, also known as Dutch ovens, camp-style Dutch ovens. We spent the last 10 years demonstrating how handy these little and sometimes rather big and heavy pots when cooking outside. We don't just limit our cast iron cooking to Dutch ovens. We also have a lot of skillets and 2 large cook-it-alls.
We would also like to explore more of the great state of Missouri, and we would like to take you all along with us. With us both working full-time jobs, weekends are about the only time we have to visit our state parks, public lands, and national forests. This state is very diverse with lots of farmlands, open prairie, native type lands, hilly and rocky type terrain. We live in the Show Me State, and we would like to show you our state.
In each video, we will feature a location, like where we're at today, Knob Noster State Park, discuss combinations, mostly camping, explore attractions and the cost of the attractions, if available, or if we did it. We will demonstrate what we cook how we cook when we go camping. Not just grilling and s'mores for us. We will share any tip that makes our camping experience better. With our camping setup, we enjoy both primitive camping and electric camping.
You may be asking yourselves, why should I watch this channel? What makes you 2 the experts at camping and Dutch oven cooking? Well, I don't think we're experts by any means. We just know what we enjoy, what works for us, and we like to share that knowledge on to you. Now, I figure we're a little bit more experts in the line of Dutch oven cooking. We have cooked many meals over the years in camp-style Dutch ovens. We have demonstrated for Lodge Manufacturing and in Springfield, Missouri for the Bass Pro Shops outdoor days for about the past 10 years. We also did cooking instruction for the greater St. Louis area, Boy Scouts, and a powder horn training. And that was we had about 75 scout leaders that we taught Dutch oven cooking to. We used 30 Dutch ovens.
And had 27?
Yeah, I think 27 or 8 different
dishes,
recipes that we used. And we had to cook that in about 3 hours time.
Yeah,
so
that was not fun.
Yeah, it was pretty challenging. But it was also a really learning experience for all of us, and it was still a lot of fun, though, the weekend.
We've cooked for a local bed and breakfast, showing people how easy it is to cook in them. And it's funny, we actually play camp cookies, don't we?
Oh yeah, that's right.
With my big stick, with my big spoon. Uh, we use our Dutch ovens almost every day. Our pole house gets very hot in the summertime. When we first started cooking in camp-style Dutch ovens, Wade came home and didn't even ask what the wonderful smell was in the kitchen. So why's the house so hot?
Hard in here.
I said, well, I just baked dinner. You are no longer allowed to bake inside in the summertime. Well, that suggestion was not well received.
No, probably didn't go too good, did it?
No, it didn't.
Well, at the time, I just started learning how to cook in Dutch ovens. I really enjoy watching RFD TV, and there was a guy that showed just how easy it was to cook in them. So, speaking of cooking, we'd like to tell you a little bit more about our camper. So basically, it is based on the original Chuckwagons that were built used for the cattle drives of the late 1800s and into the early 1900s. Well, the camp cookie, we have to get up well before dawn, fix a full hot breakfast, then tear down camp, move on to a new location, set up camp again, and then have supper ready before the cattle and the cowboys arrived. Now, it must have been a very daunting task, day after day. And what some of these cattle drives will last 3, even 4 months. Time.
No wonder the camp cookie was always grouchy.
That's right. So, now these Chuckwagons were not only used to help prepare their food, it was also their pantry and where the camp cookie slept.
Our Chuckwagon camper started out with an empty 12-foot cargo trailer. We added a roof vent and windows. It was right there. I don't know if you can see them or not, but vinyl flooring, and then we had to figure out the bed.
Yeah.
Boy, that was a pain. We started out with a Murphy bed. We were going to build a Murphy bed. And then we were going with a trundle bed.
Yeah, tried that idea.
Well, we couldn't figure either one of them out and still fit in the space that we have. So we opted for a futon, and that's worked best for us. And we were off. We went camping. Didn't quite have the chuck box area ready.
No,
but
we had a wall up and no
and
divider, and that was about it.
It's still a work in progress. We're trying to figure out how to put insulation in it, but we're getting there. We go camping quite a bit. So Wade's going to show you the chuck box area here in just a second.
All right, now we're at the back of our camper, and this is the Chuckwagon portion of our Chuckwagon camper. So basically what we did was set it up so all of our lighter stuff goes up on top and then heavier stuff as we go down. So we're going to start, we'll give you a tour of the top. There's a shelf up here. That's where we store all the pieces to the canopy, and a wash tub station when we are have it set up for doing our dishes. So, okay, so over on this side, take a look at this. This is basically our cupboard or pantry. We have small items, we have a mixing bowl, we have all of our box type goods, coffee and things like that. Then on the bottom shelf is our heavier items, like our canned goods. Also have flour and sugar and things like that on the bottom shelf. All right. Now, let's move over to the middle portion. Of course, right here, this is our countertop. We can set up and do all of our prep work and things like that. And this is our main open box here. We have both 110 and 12 volt LED lighting, of course paper towels. We have a tote here that's got all of our utensils. And we've also got a tote that's got spices and other cooking essentials in there that we use. All right. Now, let's go over this side. Here we have other items that we use for camping, not necessarily cooking. We have our Coleman lantern. Also have a real handy 1-burner butane stove, really quick, heat if we want to heat up some water or do something real fast when we're out and about and don't want to have to light a fire. Also in this cupboard we have our breaker box. We ran 30 amp service in, and then we have two 20 amp circuits. One is for heat and air only, and all the other is for all of our other electrical needs. We figured with LED lighting, that second circuit should handle all of the extra stuff for charging phones and cameras and just a few extra lights. Okay.
Keep going.
Also, we move down here below. We've got a spot here we can put in extra little table. We've got our step stool. We also have room there for a couple of our chairs. And then, of course, on the bottom, two shelves, of course, are our heavy cast iron stuff. We have a couple of Dutch ovens. We always have a 10 and a 12-inch Dutch oven. We also have some other skillets and cookware and large cook-it-all, and then we also have a little hibachi-style grill. Now we also have extra out back a 12-volt plug and a 110 outlet, so if we're out back, it's real handy to be able to not have to go in the camper to charge a phone or even plug in a fan or something if it's real hot weather. We can have access to that, and 12 volt, of course. If we don't have power or boondocking, we can plug in on 12 volt. So that completes our tour of the back part of our camper, or the Chuckwagon portion of our camper. Johnson County is the home of both Knob Noster State Park and Whiteman Air Force Base. You can take Highway 50 12 miles west to Warrensburg, Missouri, or 22 miles back east to Sedalia, which is the home of the Missouri State Fair. The park contains one campground loop with 63 campsites, 37 of which are 30 amp electric. There are no 50 amp hookups. We stayed in lot 48. This electric site cost $23 per night, plus we had to pay an $8.50 registration fee. It is a fairly level and mostly shady lot. One thing we like about Knob Noster State Park is the fact that many of the campsites have shade. The one drawback is that there are no restrooms or vault toilets at the back of the loop, which is where most of the basic campsites are. There is a nice WPA-built shelter house and several picnic tables with barbecue grills in a shaded public use area. There is also a playground for the kids and a basketball court nearby. There are 7 hiking trails around the park. We hiked the Buteau Trail, which is a 1-mile moderate-rated loop trail around Buteau Lake. This lake is also open for public fishing.
Well, that about does it for this week's weekend getaway. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe. More videos are coming your way. Before we leave, we like to show you what we cooked since we didn't demonstrate how we cooked. Needs to brown a little more, doesn't it? There we go.